Hey guys, this is Charlie from Altcoin Bus, and what an exciting time it is to be alive. My emotions goes like a roller coaster along with the Bitcoin price, but I guess that if you don't want to get deep into technical analysis, all we can do is to sit back and enjoy the ride. Sooner or later, we will get a major rally once again. But until then, we can talk about other stuff. And today we will talk yet again about the project that has been mentioned previously on this channel, and it is Safe Haven. You know, where both Jeff and Sash on the Altcoin Bus team are advisors. And I think this is a sponsored video, so it's of course fair for you all to know that. But I also hope that you all know that this is not the main reason that we make these videos. Our job is to create content for you that you can enjoy and benefit from. So in order to do that, we only review projects that we like or see have a great potential or use case. And also, of course, as nagging as it may be to hear, I'm not a financial advisor, this is just my own personal opinion. But enough with the formalities, let's have some fun. Safe Haven, still in their ICO phase, but what do they want to accomplish? And if we look at their webpage, we can see that they are talking about themselves as the solution to digital inheritance. And yes, even though this is true, they also have the potential for quite a few more use cases. And I will explain what I mean about this, but first let's just use the digital inheritance as an example. And in this example, what do we want and what do we have? Well, in the simplest case, we have some sort of digital content that contains value, let's say a private key, that we want to distribute to our descendants or children if you want, in the time of our passing away. And we also need some sort of way to validate that you are actually deceased. And in this world we live in right now, this validator needs to be a legal entity, which is quite reasonable, to be honest. And the way the Safe Haven have solved this is to create what they call Safe Haven Trust Alliance Network. And this is a group of legal entities that have a secure relationship with Safe Haven. So far, everything I have explained can be seen in these pictures from their white paper. And when you want to use their service, the process is divided in a few steps. The first one is that you, as the initiator, takes the data you want to secure and the group of people you want to distribute your assets to. You take all of this to a member of the Trust Alliance network. Step 2 is that the validator runs the cryptography software that encrypts the data and divides the encryption keys into a number of shares. So in order to retrieve the original data, you need a majority of these shares, where the number of the majority can differ a bit. And there are also two types of shares, one that goes to your children and another one that goes to the validator. And in case of the initiator's death or inability to handle his or her own assets, the original data can be retrieved by combining this majority of shares. But one will also need at least one of each type, so all of the children cannot go together and retrieve the data without the consent of the validator. And there is also support for so-called fail-safe shares that creates a security against the loss of a descendant's shares or likewise, as well as support for multiple validators in case of one of them, for instance, declaring bankruptcy. So this is a general idea that Safe Haven has built their product upon, and it's a bit simplified, but they have a lot of plans for facilitating the accessibility of the inheritance and so on. But also, as they've stated in their white paper, there are a few matters that they're still working on to solve, but I would say it's quite understandable. It's of course raises the risk of the project not having a complete prototype, but they are still in their ICO phase, and personally, I'm not too concerned about this. So talking about their ICO, they must have something to sell, right? And this is their token, which they call SHA, SHA. And the idea is that when the initiator wants to use Safe Haven's platform, he or she pays the validator in SHA tokens for their validating services. And this means that the more the service is used, the more the volume of the SHA tokens will rise, and therefore also probably the price. And right now this is an ERC20 token, but in the coming weeks they will launch their own blockchain upon which SHA also will be used as gas. And this blockchain will be using a staking consensus algorithm. And also, in order to use the Safe Haven platform, you will need to deposit an amount of SHA tokens in a time-locked smart contract. And this is true both for the initiator and for the validator. And the amount that the initiator puts in the smart contract will later on be used to pay the validator for its services. So this depositing is beneficial for two reasons. Firstly, your tokens will be used in the staking algorithm, and therefore you'll actually be rewarded for using the safe haven platform. And secondly, as people are locking up the tokens, the scarcity and therefore also the price will increase. So as you can see here, the total token supply is 85 millions, and the distribution is 31% pre-ICO sale, 23% ICO sale, 18% for the founders, 12% for the company, and so on. So as it looks right now, when this token is published, we will have a circulating supply of probably around 14 million, which is near twice the Bitcoin supply. That can give you a perspective. Moving forward, we can look at their roadmap and see that they have completed the two first steps where they have been first created the initial technology as well as written their white paper and launched their pre-sale. And right now we are in the middle of their ICO launch and developing for their beta launch in the second quarter of 2018. So going a bit further down here on the webpage, we can see their team. And here at the top we have their co-founders Jürgen, Logino and Andy. And if you want to hear an interview with Logino, I recommend you to check out our other YouTube channel, Altcoin Buzz Podcast, where you'll find out everything that I'm not covering in this video. Furthermore, the size of the team is pretty good and I have checked their backgrounds a bit, and I would say that these guys definitely have the ability to pull this project through. However, from what I've been able to find, they don't have any previous experience within any major blockchain project, which I think is always ensuring. Of course, it's not a necessity, but as I said, ensuring. And then we come to their advisors. And here we have them, Jeff and Shash. Extremely talented at what they're doing. Jeff as a social media advisor and Shash as a growth advisor. Then we also have a brand advisor, a crypto exchange advisor, and a community marketing advisor. This is nice and I like that they write out their expertise. But what I'm missing here is someone that has been, as I mentioned previously, has been involved in another major blockchain project. It is of course probable that all of these guys have experience with the blockchain technology and so on, but a person that has first-hand seen the traps and hinders in building a blockchain application, I think would be very good for this team. And if nothing else, just to build credibility. And scrolling down a bit more, we find their partners, where we first and foremost see that they are partnering with Blue. And if you haven't heard about Blue before, I recommend you to check out the videos that we have done on these guys previously. But in short, you could say that their mission is to be the police on the blockchain. To see to it that this is not a scam or nothing fishy is going on this platform and so on. So just that Safe Haven has partnered with Blue is great for building their trust. Alright, so this is pretty much the Safe Haven project in a nutshell. And I'm actually not going to tell you anything about the price or prediction for the future and so on. I'll leave that to you to do your own diligence and think for yourselves. But I will say that I like this project, I'm interested in this project. It might not have the most sexy vision for obvious reason, after all, it mainly focuses on your own death. But you know what? This has an actual use case. It's actually not many projects out there can tell that they're actually solving a problem that we're having right now. And furthermore, it doesn't have to target the inheritance. It also has another use case that brings a lot of potential as well. Let's say you are a bunch of people that decide to store some data that you don't want to be exposed until everyone agrees on it. Like a contract, like a collateral investment and so on. The only difference here from Safe Haven's inheritance use case is that in this case everyone gets a share. And the validators can sustain with any legal activity that is required for this specific transaction. Okay, so I think that this is everything I have to say about Safe Haven for the moment, and I hope that you have enjoyed my analysis of it. Now, I will show you this image and once again say that even though this is a sponsored video, we're only reviewing it because we can see the potential of it. We probably would have reviewed it anyway, and we always keep our professional integrity and remains unbiased. If you like this video, I would love it if you hit the like button below. And if you want more videos like this, then you should subscribe to us here on YouTube. And don't forget to hit the little bell button so you always get noticed when we publish new videos. And we're also on Twitter under altcoinbuzz.io and Instagram under altcoinbuzz and Facebook and Snapchat and so on. And I will leave the links in the description below to all of them. Until the next time, this is Charlie, over and out.